1989, the year the Discovery 1 was launched to the world. And boy oh boy, did these vehicles do very well. Now, over 30 years later, we don't see too many of them on the road anymore. The 1994 300 TDI 3-door Discovery that you see over here is owned by Libby Williamson. It was the first vehicle she took off-roading, and she recently purchased it back before having it restored. This is her story.
So it was in my family for a while, and we did a lot of Green Lane trips in it, Pyrenees, all over the UK, and I just fell in love with it really. And then it was sold and bought back for me, and now it's back to being how it should be.
It's hard not to see why the Discovery 1 was so popular with this lovely, lush, comfortable interior. So I asked Libby what sort of condition was it in when she bought it back, and why the decision to restore a vehicle that's probably not worth much more than £2,000 or £3,000.
Yeah, it'd been to a few pay and play sites. I think it had done some towing, and a few green lane trips, but it wasn't in the condition it was when I first met the car. It was very rotten. The bodywork was rotten, boot floor, sills, wheel arches were really bad. It was in a pretty bad condition really, and you just don't see many 3-doors. And as I've an emotional attachment to it, I really wanted to put it back to being how it should be, back to almost like a new car.
Traditionally, the Discovery 1 has been an affordable and cheap way to get into off-roading or green laning. I mean, look at this example of Libby's. She's left it as it was when she used to take it off-roading. So you can see it's got steel bumpers both front and back. It's got a fairly good set of off-road tires on it. There are rock sliders. You can see a bit has been done to the wheel arches. They're definitely not standard. It's got a snorkel on. So she has really turned it into her dream idea of a green laner or off-roader. But these cars only go for $1 or $2 or $3 grand, so very, very affordable.
Yeah, it's not 100% original. Obviously, the wheel arch has been cut out. It's got a suspension lift, wheel spacers, bumpers, that sort of thing. But I think it looks right on the car. It's not over the top. And it still looks good with the extras that it's got on it. I said to Tony I just wanted it to be as good as new, well, as close to new as possible, and I think that's really what he's done.
While the bodywork needed much attention, one of the only things they had to do to the interior was to replace the headlining. And believe it or not, this roof, Libby tells me, does not leak. I just noticed. One of the great selling points of a Discovery is the fact that it has 7 seats, of course, and this early example has the bulletproof 300 TDI engine that just seems to go on and on and on. I asked Libby the all-important question: why was this Discovery worth saving?
Well, like you said, there's just not many of them out there. I can't remember the last time I saw a good 3-door on the road, or a 5-door, so I felt like it was worth restoring for the future, and now it's back to almost as good as new. It should last a few more years.
And what are your future plans with it?
A few green lane trips, nothing too extreme. It's a classic now and it's in retirement. A few green lane trips, maybe a Yorkshire trip, and potentially a trip to Morocco in it.
If you would like to read more about Libby's incredible Discovery labour of love, get yourself the September issue of Land Rover Monthly Magazine, which goes on sale on the 20th of July. Just click on www.lrm.co.uk and you can read more about Libby's lovely Discovery.